Channel Live stuff, some of the solo stuff that I had going on, some collabs, Queen Latifah, Black Rob, Monie Love, Method Man, KRS One, Marco Polo, big shout out to him, and whoever else I'm forgetting, Black Ops. I know I'm forgetting some folks, but it is what it is.
All right, matter of fact, just tell us right quick though, what's the name of the mixtape, Hakim?
The Hip Hop Nation, the mixtape.
All right.
That's the name of the mixtape. Hip Hop Nation, the mixtape.
All right. All right. Now.
The worldwide cipher of Hip Hop Nation. How about
that? All right. All right. Well, check this out though. Let's get specifically into what you was talking about, because you know what? Just on a side note, people was checking out the behind the scenes footage from last year's hip hop appreciation week that we did, and it was, you know, obviously you have like a lot of good verses and joints that you were spitting in behind the spot, like in front of that brick wall, in front of the Jersey burner that Porno did and shit. And you were always spit a lot of knowledge, man, within your rhymes and stuff. So when people hear you spit, I mean, they kind of expect the conscious thought behind the rhymes, you know. So just let's talk about some specific tracks and what you was kind of getting into with some of those. All right.
All right. Well, the mixtape leads off with a song called "Secret," and "Secret" was written as a response to the prison industrial complex and how hip hop music, let me change that, rap music was being used to further an agenda of criminalizing our culture, taking our culture and making it criminal to give an excuse to lock us up. Mm-hmm. That's why I wrote "Secrets." Then we got "Respect This" and just that. Respect this. Me and Tuffy did that as Channel Live back in 2000, and a lot of what we're talking about in 2000, Illuminati, just how hip hop was being dumbed down. 12 years later, it's still true today. So that people really like that song, "Respect This." We got "Ghetto Business," Method Man. We got "Temptation" with Queen Latifah and Black Rob. We got Illuminati. Illuminati's ill. KRS One is on Illuminati. KRS One and Marco Polo. Marco Polo actually put that joint together, and that joint is fire just because everybody talks about the Illuminati, what it is, how the mystification of the secret societies, and I think we just look at it real honestly on that song. I'm gonna skip down "Path of God" with NYOil. I got another KRS One joint called "New World Order." Again, put together by Marco Polo for Marco Polo project, actually. And that song deals with the New World Order, what to expect, the different pieces of the New World Order. Got this song called "Fuck That, Still Building," which is a song that was really about me and Tuffy shopping our project at Def Jam in '97 and being told that since we weren't drug dealers, we couldn't get signed there. That's a real interesting song. And the last song on the joint is "Hip Hop Nation," the theme song, the title track. And "Hip Hop Nation" is just a call for the Hip Hop Nation to embrace the real elements of hip hop. Like, hip hop ain't died, ain't go nowhere. There's nothing wrong with hip hop. The problem is rap music. So when you get back to the true elements of hip hop, it's all good.
All right, word. But you know what, Hakim? Let's go back now. Of course, just once again, if you're just joining us, I'm on the phone with Hakim Green, the Channel Live fame, Mad-ism fame. Let's take it back to the old days for some of the younger cats. Matter of fact, we got a younger brother on here named Shubra, aka stage name Ambiguity, who's checking us out from Mumbai, India, and he's actually only 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about like how you first got into hip hop, Hakim, and then how it was to when y'all first did Channel Live and when y'all was able to get that track, Mad-ism. You know what I mean?
Somebody on the phone from India.
Yeah.
On the chat, rather, from India.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mumbai.
That's huge right there. Just because I'm doing a lot of, I study a lot, especially ancient history and ancient culture. And Indians, are just an ancient race of people that are still around. Like, they've been here for tens of thousands of years, and we owe a lot in terms of civilization and culture to the people of India. So, enough respect. But in terms of hip hop, my involvement in hip hop, like, I was doing hip hop when we wasn't even calling it hip hop. It was just what we did. Like, it's just to throw some linoleum or some cardboard down and break dance, or to graffiti writing, tagging, beatboxing, rapping, freestyling, like the elements. When you're a young person in the late '70s and the '80s, you're just doing it. You're not really thinking about the culture, so to speak. You just live in the culture. You're not really aware of what you're doing. So in hindsight, it's like, man, I had an integral part in one of the biggest, most influential cultural movements ever in the history of the world. And when you look at it, like, even within the gospel of hip hop, being next to Chris and having my name in the book is like, man, my name is in the book. Or to look at some old archival footage and I was there.
Yep.
It's like, man, it's mind blowing. But then again, you don't really spend too much time reflecting on it because you got so much more hip hop to live. You just live the culture, and that's what I continue to do. Is just try to live the culture, just try to be the truest Hakim Green I could possibly be, and then that's hip hop.
Right, and I mean, that's a real interesting perspective, because see, this is the thing. You were able to see some transitions in hip hop too. All right, so like specifically coming from the Channel Live days in the early '90s to what it is now. You know what I mean? To in 2011 with the Gucci Manes or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Or Lil Wayne or Nicki Minaj or whatever. There's been a lot of transitions. So I mean, talk about the feeling that you had about hip hop, like when you were making a song, like for the first time and coming out with a video, like for Madism and all that, to where you see hip hop today.
Well, like, I mean, again, hip hop just is. And when we look at the rap commercial industry relative to hip hop, like, we set ourselves up for the letdown. Because the commercial, like pop music, the commercial music industry has, and always will be about money. But hip hop, you just doing it. You ain't really doing it for the money. You just doing it because there's nothing else you can be doing. Like, this is what we do. So,
I mean, well, how do you see it? Like, yeah, go ahead.
When Brand New Beats dropped his first album, right? I don't know if it's the same time period, but whatever was happening in hip hop, right? When Bobby Brown dropped, was not as big as Bobby Brown.
Wow. And clarify that. Go into that, because I know that's going to blow people's minds a little bit. Go.
Like, Bobby Brown was like, in, I guess it was that 87, maybe 88, 89, right? Was the biggest thing in urban black music, like black music and black music. But yeah, like Bobby Brown. I mean, it was other artists, but Bobby Brown was just like the popular icon in black music that crossed over. Like, his Every Little Step I Take, like his urban music through Bobby Brown had crossed over to mainstream, right? You take the biggest rap act that was going on relative to Bobby Brown, wasn't as big as Bobby Brown. Right.
Yeah.
What's happened is that now hip hop is pop culture. So you have the Bobby Brown version of music going on today in the form of people who are rapping. But now when you look at hip hop or underground, I don't even call it underground, just whatever real, when you look at that relative to the biggest that, it's kind of like the same thing, relatively speaking. Now you got your Jay-Z's, you got some folks out there who are like legitimate lyricists, legitimate rhyme sayers, who are also pop music. They're pop culture. to rap. They were listening to something else.
Right. Now, Hawk, let's touch on this right quick, and then I'm gonna go on a break, and I'm gonna come back with you some more. But let's start to touch on this. I'm trying to think what would be the quickest way to do this. Right. Well, let's do this. Let me ask you a question from one of our audience members. We got another brother on here from actually Winterthur, Switzerland, by the name of Iggy. All right. And his question is, what are some of the books? What are some of the books that you use to gather your knowledge about what you write in your lyrics and stuff? What are some good books that you would recommend to the audience out here to pick up?
Right. Well, the Bible, one. Definitely recommend the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very good book. It's a good book. The word Bible comes from the word biblios, which means book in Greek. Mm-hmm. Biblios comes from the Egyptian word papyrus, which means paper.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The Holy Bible means literally Helios, sun, holy, Helios, sun, book, papyrus, biblios, book, sun pages or sun book, book of the sun. It's a good book.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book called The Secret Science. The author's name is Baines, B-A-I-N-E-S.
Damn, I gotta write this down. All right.
Because it gets into like Hermetic philosophy and the seven Hermetic principles.
Word.
Cause and effect, correspondence.
Word.
Below.
Word.
Some other ones I'm forgetting right now. But
hold up. They said to repeat that again, Hawk. You said the book was called The Secret Science?
The Secret Science.
What's the author? Baines.
A-I-N-E-S.
Baines.
A-I-N-E-S.
Okay, they got it. Okay, they got that. All right.
And the reason why I say those two books is because, like, the Bible kind of laid the foundation for Western society. The foundation of Western society is rooted in the Bible.
All right. And you know what? We're gonna take a quick little break, but when we come back, we're gonna finish up on that part of it with going into your input with the gospel of hip hop, and then the fact that you was a teacher and touring and lecturing, what you've done with that in the past and how that's been, because they were asking also what is it like to work with KRS and stuff like that, because we were just watching a lecture there, so they was wondering what it is to be around on a personal level, and I was about to go into it, but I was like, you know what? Let me go call Hakim, and he can give you a perspective as well. So let's take a quick little break, though. Let me take a quick little break, and then we come back. We're gonna get your perspective on knowledge and then the lecture circuit and that type of thing. All right. So once again, we're on the phone with Hakim Green of Channel Live, right here for you. True School University Worldwide Cypher Sundays. Nothing but original hip hop style music, talk, and culture. So y'all stay tuned right there, and we'll be right back. All right.